does Batman follow you around? Not that he literally follows you around, but has that had an effect on your career? Has it followed you around like a cloud, I suppose?
So is the question, has it had an effect?
Yeah,
or does it follow me around? Because it certainly had an effect.
Yeah,
everything had an effect. That had a giant effect because it was the first. It was groundbreaking, frankly, and I can't really. Well, I mean, it was part of it, I guess, but it was Tim and it was Frank Miller and it was the whole vision. And actually, to give credit to some of the producers, they were, you know, they get beat up all the time, like they don't really know, like they're the suits and everything, but they had wonderful ideas, and that was a. I mean, you know, it's been copied and sliced up, and what he did, what Tim did, 100 more than cocaine from a cartel. It's been cut up more, and so it's cut up a lot and changed and I don't want to say copied, but he changed a lot, and I was part of that, and proudly so, and I totally embrace it. I love being him and knowing that I'm part of a craft or art form or whatever you want to call it that I'm proud to be a part of, even though you should. Whoops, you should never end a sentence in a preposition, I realize. Nothing, you know, frankly, nothing follows me around except, I don't know, you know, like everyday life, like a normal human being. You know, I tend to work on living on the present. I'm not always successful, but I just kind of go from one gig to the other, and sometimes that gig has nothing to do with show business, you know. So, and to act like it wasn't a giant thing. And frankly, the reason why, if you go back and you think about that time and what was happening and what has happened since with movies, when something breaks on an international level, that's a whole big deal. That's, you know, that's a big deal. And it was the kind of thing that would work on an international level. You know, these guys know this as well as I do. They've done the same thing. It's kind of a different thing. And even though I was known for certain things, primarily I was known in the United States, I would guess. I mean, there was recognition in other countries and everything, but that was the first thing that went that big. And frankly, thinking for Tim too, and for most people involved, you know. So the reality is, yeah, that's a big thing. You know, if I was I don't know, if I was you know, I sold, you know, medical supplies or something, and I happened to be the guy who sold a certain medical supply that exploded all over the world and made a bunch of people rich, that would be a game changer. So in that regard, yeah, and it's pretty cool, you know. So I'm okay with it, but nothing really follows me around. You know, what maybe, and you know, I'm human, so this isn't, you know, things that follow me around or things when I look at it professionally and go, oh boy, I really wasn't very good in that movie. That'll follow me around a little bit. And even frankly, that doesn't follow me around very long. So that's kind of it, you know, I don't know. I love the idea of Birdman following me around though. I kind of do, because he said something the other day that I've totally stolen, which is, he ain't going anywhere. And by the way, y'all got a Birdman in your life, so they're not going away. You know, it's your negative ego who wants to win, and you know, you either make peace with him or kick his ass or make sure he sits in the back seat. But you have to drive the car, and that's kind of how that is.